All right, so I think it's time to dive into Twilight, which again is experiencing its renaissance right now, which means that, all those like teen girls who had to like quietly read it in their rooms and got like made fun of for liking Twilight when that backlash happened and finally realized, fuck you guys, Twilight rocks for every possible reason, ironically, unironically, and we're going to have a great time. So it is based off of the 2005 novel of the same name by Stephanie Meyer. The movie itself, I feel like they didn't think it was going to do well. They gave this thing a $37 million budget, and it made like $407 million at the box office, which launched not only the rest of the Twilight craze, which had already been building in like the fan community of the book, but also launched the entire young adult subgenre of like just that kind of content being pushed and getting massive budgets. You got like Hunger Games, you got, I don't even know, it's all sorts of stuff just launched off. Vampire Diaries, which had been books for years, finally got their show. There was so many like vampire teen spin-off things that were just written and built around Twilight. It turned into a massive craze. And here we are kind of 10 years later, well over 10 years. Oh God, well over 10 years later now. We are old, like 15 years later.
We ain't got to go there. Relax.
We don't have to go there. It's still going. It's still running strong. And so Mike, what were some of your thoughts before we like fully really dive into it deep? What were your thoughts experiencing it for the first time?
Okay, so initially, when it first came out, 2008, right?
Yep, 2008.
I watched it as a 14-year-old child. Well, I started to watch it, right?
Yeah.
I was with all my cousins. They put it on, and obviously, as a 14-year-old male teenager, I was like, I don't want to watch this. What the fuck is this? This is gonna be boring. And it was boring. I hated the first 30 minutes of it, and I went to bed. And I didn't do anything else for the rest of the night, right? Never revisited the movie, never cared to, until last night. I poured a nice little glass of something I shall not name, and I watched Twilight, which is a 2-hour long movie. Fun fact, didn't know that. And I wasn't sure what to expect. I was like, I'm not going to like this. I know I'm not going to like this. But in the first 30 minutes, the part where I was like totally checked out when I was younger, I kept having a smile on my face and kept laughing more than I do in comedies nowadays.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand what was happening.
That's where we're at with Twilight now. That's what I mean. That's why when people say they both unironically and ironically like Twilight, that's why. Because you can find the stuff that's like, I sincerely enjoy what this was going for. And then it's like, this is fucking ridiculous. And I love it for that. And I really think Catherine Hardwicke, like the director, steered into that. Whole movie's got a blue tint wash over it. It's a great time. She like thwacks Jacob with the door when she opens the truck. It's just like little things.
It's just flooded with like these incredibly like just super close-ups and these random zoom-ins with like this cute little music accompanying all of it. Yep. And it's like, this is straight out of a meme page.
I know.
They're fucking with me right now. Stop this.
That's what I mean. It was cooking. It was cooking until today because it was like it knew what the internet was going to be like in like 15 years. And it was like, we're cooking, we're waiting. You can buy glasses that give you the Twilight blue tint filter so that you can like experience the look of the movie in real life. Like the world is insane. So, as you might expect, being in something like Twilight might, even though it is huge, might not have garnered some of the premier talent of the world. I remember when, before the movie came out, Stephanie Meyer's website, she had fan casting ideas and people could actually like write in for what they wanted. I think she wanted Henry Cavill to be Edward. And I think she wanted Emily Brown, the girl from Sucker Punch and Series of Unfortunate Events, to be Bella. That was her dream casting. But then we got Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. Kristen hadn't been in like a ton of stuff at that point. She'd been in a handful of things like Catch That Kid and Speak. And I think Adventureland might have come out just before. Yeah, Adventureland came out before Twilight. So that would have been like one of her bigger ones. And then like Robert was in Harry Potter. He was Cedric Diggory. He made it one movie and he died. And that was all they needed to know. Yeah, he's Cedric Diggory. He's the actual Hogwarts champion at the Triwizard Tournament, the Hufflepuff. He like nabs Cho Chang from Harry.
I did not.
Mike.
Oh my god, I see him in the little getup right now. This is photoshopped.
It's not
so
Photoshop,
funny.
it's real. Yeah, he was in Harry Potter. That's what he was from. And then suddenly he's Edward Cullen, heartthrob extraordinaire, supposed to be like the hottest guy in the world. I can't judge that, but people seem to like him. And I don't know if people like him because he was hot beforehand or if people like him because he was cast to be a hot guy. Because that happens a lot.
What do you mean? Explain that a little bit more.
Okay. So sometimes if you have a character that's written and they're supposed to be like super hot, and then, you know, you cast somebody who maybe in like different framing I'm not saying Robert Pattinson's ugly or anything. I'm just saying sometimes you get these people that like, they tell you this character was designed to be a hot person. Mm-hmm. So then all these girls are like, yeah, that character is hot because you're telling me he's supposed to be hot, but he's not necessarily objectively the hottest person. Like some of the people they cast to be the vampires in those movies, the way that they do them up, I'm like, what did you do? Why is Emmett's hair like that? Who thinks this is attractive? I don't know. Mm-hmm. Because I'm trying to think, there's like also in Harry Potter, the guy who plays young Grindelwald gets cast as this character named Jace in a show called like Mortal Instruments, or a movie called Mortal Instruments, and he's supposed to be super hot, and he's just this weaselly looking dude. He just looks like a weasel. So, but then girls are like, no, he's hot because he's Jace.